By the fall of 1968, Task Force 115 had basically accomplished its mission. Thanks to the efficiency of market-time coastal patrols, Vietcong junks were rarely able to smuggle their men and supplies in from the sea. The trawlers had virtually ceased their runs. Along the major waterways of the Mekong Delta, the river patrol boats of Task Force 116 and the joint Army-Navy Mobile Riverine Force had fought the communists to a near stalemate. But where once the enemy had received most of his supplies by sea, now the overland Ho Chi Minh Trail served as his main avenue for supply. Taking advantage of America's unwillingness to violate the neutrality of South Vietnam's neighbors, the trail snaked its way south from Hanoi in relative safety, terminating along the Cambodian border in the spiderweb of creeks and canals that make up the southern Mekong Delta. Now the swift boats and WPBs were to be sent into this maze of muddy waterways. It was here they would see their finest hours.
The strategy in the South shifted dramatically into one of actually running combined boat operations instead of single boat operations, as we were doing on market time, operating in a more integrated fashion with the Army and with the Vietnamese, making operations where we were setting up ambushes, combinations between boats and helicopters, a lot of new strategies which were an attempt to take the war to the enemy. And in fact, we were, I think, pretty successful.
Following Mike Bernique's unauthorized swift boat raid on the Vente Canal, American naval commanders decided that bold action could seal off the flow of communist supplies into the Delta, if not at their source, then at least at the points where they were floated across the border. The new operation was dubbed Sealords, for Southeast Asia Lake Ocean River Delta Strategy. Ordered into one of the longest-held communist strongholds in South Vietnam, the Sealords raiders would soon hunt the Delta's VC into virtual extinction. Combining the Swifts and WPBs of market time with the speedy river patrol boats, heavily armored monitors and troop transports of Task Force 116 and the Mobile Riverine Force, a near impenetrable string of barriers along the Cambodian border was soon established. Swifts and WPBs attacked from the south, upstream from the Gulf of Thailand. PBRs and monitors closed in from the north, down the smaller creeks and canals. Sailing into the enemy's own backyard, the Sealords raiders were indeed going in harm's way.